So James, welcome. And welcome to all of our Oregon Trio peeps from across the state, mostly Southern Oregon, which I'm really impressed by. James, I'm going to let you go ahead and introduce yourself and then take it away, and I can keep an eye on the chat in case any questions are popping up. And I'll just continue to let people in as they join us.
And very good. And also just for kind of planning purposes, how long do you want this to go?
I mean, we have the whole hour set, so
Okay.
set aside. So
Well, and I like these to be more conversational than
right.
kind of lectury. And so if anybody wants to jump in at any time, please do. I am based in Salem, but I grew up in Klamath Falls. So I feel like for those people who are in Southern Oregon, I feel like I can be part of your club. And thank you for having me. And interestingly enough, not first, but my most recent interaction with Trio was in November, was down in Southern Oregon for an AARP event and ended up at Southern Oregon University on a Trio day and got to see some of the students and some of the sessions in action, and very impressed with what you do, and thanks for doing it. And so given the size do we want to do introductions? Is that, I don't know how much of the time we want to burn on that, but in
Yeah, if
my
you'd like
real
to know who's in the
yeah.
room, yeah,
So
let's do it.
in while I work at the state treasury and I talk about the Oregon College Savings Plan, my official job is the Oregon Financial Empowerment Program Manager. And as part of this work, I help to connect people to financial empowerment programs and resources around the state. We have launched a financial wellness portal on 2-in-1 Info, and we have a newsletter and an annual report, and we have a quarterly meeting that brings together people from around the state to talk about good things that are happening in the financial empowerment world. So I'm always interested in hearing what people are doing and what you're doing, um, and so excited to see everybody. So again, James Sinks. I work at the State Treasury and I'm in Salem. And I don't know if we want to what the best way to do this around the horn is, but how about I just call people as they're on my screen, so then um, uh, we don't miss anybody. So next one on my Brady Bunch here is Luana. Luana, it's good to see you. Oh, and you're muted.
Luana, you're not muted, but we can't hear you.
Huh.
What about now?
Can you hear me now?
We
Yep.
can. Hello.
Okay. My name is Luana Stevens. I am the office specialist for Southern Oregon University Trio Student Support Services, and I've been here a little over 5 years.
All right. Thanks for doing that work. I may have been in your office on a call not that long ago, and I hope I didn't leave a coffee cup in there. Ginger.
No, not at all.
Hello, I am Ginger Lathan with Project Youth Plus in Southern Oregon, Grants Pass. And I am a program director of the College Plus program and an assistant to the TRIO program out here. So,
have you spoken to anybody from the State Treasury before there at College Plus?
we actually have an IDA College Plus college savings account program.
Okay, very good.
Through our organization. We're a nonprofit out here.
So is it a 529 or is it something different?
I don't know.
Okay.
It's not.
And that's okay. It's not a test. It's fine.
Yeah, I'm not sure. It could be. It's a match savings account. So.
Okay. All right. So it's an IDA.
Yes, IDA.
And folks can use the Oregon College Savings Plan for those dollars once they get the match savings too. Okay. So next, Chelsea.
Hi.
Hey.
I'm so sorry. I missed part of what we were talking about. It's been a crazy day.
It's just introductions. Yeah, it's just to get to know each other.
There's no test question. You're okay.
Oh, good. I'm Chelsea. I'm at Southwestern Oregon Community College. Yeah, and I work in student support services.
So that's Coos Bay, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I couldn't even think. I was like, I don't know where I'm at.
All right. Is it rainy over there today? It's always rainy.
No, it's actually really pretty.
All right. Very good. Well, thanks for being here. Is that Fong? Did I say that wrong? Chances are I did. Uh, and she just disappeared. Crystal?
Oh, it looks like Crystal's here too. Oh, I was seeing
Hi.
Crystal note taker.
Hey there.
Hi.
So we're just doing quick introductions. So if you want to just kind of get a sense of what everybody's doing, so then I can ask you. I promise I'm not going to call on people during the thing and ask any tough questions, but just sort of nice to hear what everybody's doing, and thank you for the work that you do.
Oh, okay. I am a trio specialist. I work with 6th through 12th graders in Curry County, which is the southern
Okay.
Oregon coast.
Very good. In my former career, I was a newspaper reporter, and one of the papers in the chain that I worked for was a Curry Coastal Pilot. I don't even know if it's there anymore.
Oh,
but
yeah, still
yeah,
here.
back in
Yep.
the day.
Yep. Wow.
Okay, so try this again. Is it Fong? I'm saying that wrong. I've got to be.
No, you said it correct. Hi. I'm not sure. Can you hear me?
We
Sorry.
can.
Yeah.
We can.
Oh, beautiful. Nice to meet you. My name is Fung. I'm an academic counselor here at Oregon State University,
Okay. Very good.
and a tutor coordinator. So we work primarily with college students.
And Oregon State and Corvallis.
Correct. Yes. We also have our partner school over at Oregon State over in Bend, Cascades
Okay.
as well.
Do you work with the Center for Advancing Financial Education there?
We work collaboratively with
Okay,
them,
very good.
but nothing more than that.
So I have a board that helps to guide our efforts here at the Treasury, and the Assistant Dean Prem Matthew from Oregon State is on there. So I'm going to thank you for his work. So thank you for that. Okay, let's see, kind of plowing through here. Linda on the iPhone 15.
Hello.
Linda,
I'm
we're just doing
Lulu.
introductions.
Yeah,
Oh,
no,
Yeah.
we're not picking on you.
it's okay. I'm Linda Liu. I direct 2 TRIO SSS programs at Portland State University.
Okay, awesome.
I am happy to be here. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you for being here. Sharon Price.
Hi,
Hello.
I'm from Western Oregon University and
Hello.
I'm the office coordinator.
All right, thank you for being here. Claudia. Oh, can't hear you.
Okay, my name is Clara Mendez and I work at the Seaside High School, Seaside Middle School for the TRIO College programs.
Thank you for being here. I was going to guess that when I saw the goals. Chelsea, I'm just going to say Chelsea because I don't know if I can say your last name. I like your dog. No? No? All right. Adrian? No. Is Deanne?
Oh, Adrian didn't have a mic. Adrian introduced himself in the chat.
Okay. All
So
right.
Adrian
Now
is
I see you.
also Western. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So sorry, I didn't realize my camera came on before when I was in the middle of a phone call. Deanne Veritek, I work with Upward Bound and Educational Talent Search pre-college at Southwestern Oregon Community College.
Okay, thank you. Also from Coos Bay, beautiful Coos Bay, where it's nice today.
Working out of Brookings today, but it is also quite lovely.
It's the Oregon's Banana Belt down there.
Yes.
So, next on my Brady Bunch is Andres.
Hi, everybody. Just joined. My name is Andres Fernandez, pronouncing him his. I'm an education advisor with the TRIO Student Enrichment Program, so SSS.
Are you, where are you based at?
Monmouth, Oregon.
Monmouth. All right, very good. Not too far. I'm in Salem. So let's see who we have in here. Holly.
Hi, I'm Holly Adair. I'm the director of the 2 TRIO ETS programs and EOC programs at Rogue Community College. So we're in Southern Oregon, Grants
Very
Pass,
good.
Medford area. Yep.
Okay, thank you. It looks like Tasha.
Taisha, hi.
Tasha, I'm sorry. Hi
No
there.
worries. Hi.
Thank you for being here. There's so many people here. This is great. Thank you, everybody, for coming. Looks like Amber.
Hi, everyone. I'm Amber Alves. I'm a former TRIO student, and now I work for TRIO EOC in Grants Pass, Oregon at Rogue Community College.
Very good. Thank you. Angel? Yeah. Liz?
Hello, I'm Liz. I'm over at Southern Oregon University as a TRIO advisor.
Hi, Liz. Thanks for being here. Looks like a couple more. Trina?
That's me.
Hi, Trina. How are you?
Good. I work for Rogue Community College, and I am the program coordinator for ETS and EOC programs.
All right. Thank you for being here. And then I think the last one is, I'm going to mess this up too. It's Azucena. Is that right? Okay. And if I've missed anybody, please jump in. I'm very grateful for everybody for being here. Clearly, even with all these people here, it shows that it'd be very hard for us to get all over the state to talk to everybody about the college savings plan. And so very hopeful that with the conversation today and any follow-ups, if you need any help or materials, that you can be our ambassadors and help students learn about kind of how the state is helping people to save for future higher education needs and whatever that means to them. It's called Oregon College Savings Plan. At Treasury, we're even thinking about changing the name because it isn't just college. We're talking about community college or apprenticeship programs. And there's a lot of people that kind of instinctively say, well, gosh, I'm not going to college. I'm not going to save. But the state even gives you a tax credit to do it. So it's a good idea. And the state actually has some good public policy reasons to do it as well. So I'm going to, and I'm such a Luddite, so I'm going to try and share my screen. I hope I do this right. Let's see, window, there's this one. Sure. Okay. And I'm going to slideshow. Okay, can everybody see that? Did I do it right?
It didn't start the slideshow though. It's showing your other screen with the presentation.
So let's see. AP Zoom is sharing. So are you seeing like the main slide or just a partial slide?
Well, we're seeing the first slide, but we're seeing the
next slide too.
No, just the title and then, like the header and then the stuff that says always use.
Oh, that's very funny.
Subtitles, all that stuff.
Okay. All right. Well, that's not what I see. So I'm
yeah,
very
so
confused.
Maybe if you unshare and then share again and choose your slideshow that's begun, would that work?
Stop sharing. Well, I just stop sharing. Oh, this is very embarrassing. Hold on.
Oh, it's not. It's very normal.
Okay, so let's slideshow from the beginning. Okay, do you see me again?
No, because we're not sharing screens right now.
Okay.
You did it. That worked.
Okay, I'm very excited. Okay, college savings plan. It is a 529 program. Called such because that's what the numbers are in the federal revenue code. Another one of those things that we do in government is we call things people can't remember, like 529. What does that mean? We also love acronyms in government too. And so the 529 program or the Oregon College Savings Plan is administered by normally state treasuries in different states. So in Oregon, it's the state treasury here. And did you see the next slide? Did it work? Okay. So this is not going to be a surprise to any of you. The cost of college education is going through the roof and it's outpacing inflation. And it's so much so that we're seeing people start to question whether college is even the best investment of time and money. I mentioned that in my other role, I'm the Oregon Financial Empowerment Program Manager. I'm in the final throes now of putting together an annual report called the Oregon Financial Wellness Scorecard. And as part of that, we did a survey and asked Oregonians things like, are you saving? Looking at financial stress and that sort of thing. And routinely across the board, people who have a college education are doing better when it comes to financial stress and savings behavior. Long term, you're just going to, you're going to make more money if you go to college too. So while there's a lot of and growing awareness about how expensive it is to go to college, it's still a good investment. And so the state, we do a lot of things here. We kind of make colleges available through community colleges and also the universities. But on the Treasury side, where we do the state investing and selling the bonds so that we can build schools and those sorts of things, we also administer savings programs that make it possible to defray the cost of college education, also retirement and disability connected costs. But that's a conversation for a different day. The goal here is to let people put compound interest to work for them, as opposed to have it work against you in the form of student debt on the other side. Student debt is, that's how I paid to go to school. But as I mentioned, I grew up in Klamath Falls and did my first couple years at OIT before I went to journalism school, and I graduated with all of like $10,000 in student debt. That's a term now. It's incredible. And so, understanding that student debt is a reality, we would love to kind of defray that. It'd probably be hard to save the entire cost of college by setting money aside on the way in, but every little bit helps. If you can pay for a year, if you can pay for a term, if you can pay for books, all of it makes college more affordable. Here's the quick math on saving versus borrowing, where you can, over the cost, and that we really try and get people saving as young as possible to put compound interest to work for them. Was it Einstein who said compound interest is the most powerful force in the universe? The longer you save, the money starts kind of multiplying, and we want more students to learn about this too. We talk about students in financial education in high school, and the sessions that I sat in at Southern Oregon Trio. It was all about kind of the basics of saving and investing and helping people understand that when you save, you're putting money to work for you instead of against you. You guys deal with people who are thinking about going to higher education. There's different tools available. Financial aid, Pell Grants are still a thing, and so if you get people saving for college, they get in their head that it's what they're going to do, and then they will actually apply for Pell Grants. And mentioned I was a newspaper reporter in a former life. I also, in a different former life, was the communications director for the Oregon Community College Association. And one of the biggest challenges that we found in the mid 2000 teens was that students who were eligible for Pell Grants wouldn't even apply because they just didn't think that they were going to go to college. And so a lot of this is a psychology game. And I'm going to come back to the slide in just a second here. In the header for this conversation, we talked about the college savings plan being more than just college, and I mentioned it too. It can go toward a lot of different programs, and now you can even use it to pay for student debt. And one of the pushback conversations with people about investing for college is, what if my kid just gets a full ride scholarship? They're not going to need us to save money. The college savings plan can now be rolled into a retirement account as well. So a lot of those reasons people had to not open a college savings plan account, like I'm already in school, I don't need to save. Well, you can use it for student debt and get tax benefits for it, or you can roll it into retirement someday. Those are kind of key attributes for saving in these. Okay, so the college savings plan, it is a 529 account. You can look it up if you want to in federal code. And it's available to every Oregonian. You have to be 18 or older. and you need to have a Social Security number or an I-10 to open an account. And then it is a savings account, but you're also exposed to the market. So people get to decide what their level of comfort is and their investment risk tolerance. And so this gives you ability to invest and save. I did a presentation a few weeks ago and somebody said, well, can you lose money in this? And the answer is, well, yes and no. There's an option that's guaranteed where you won't lose a dime. You'll get money market returns, but if you are willing to do some market exposure, you can potentially have more money over time. So but the options are there, and it's up to each individual person to decide what their risk tolerance is. You can have an account for every child. And so I had 3 kids, and then I had 3 separate beneficiary accounts in my college savings plan account. So it isn't just one per family or anything like that. I mentioned the tax credit. The state, when we first created the college savings plan back in 2001, it used to be a tax deduction, and it was you could subtract like X dollars off of your taxable income if you put money into a college savings plan account. Well, if you don't pay any taxes, it didn't do you any good. And one of the things that we did about 6 years ago was understanding that we really want to help people of lower and middle income save for college. It got changed to a refundable tax credit, and not only changed to a refundable credit, but it actually is more valuable to those at the lower end of the income kind of strata. So if you make less than $30,000 a year, you put $180 in, you can get $180 back. It's a 1-for-1 match. As you make more money, you can still get that $180 in refundable tax credit from the state every year. I wish they had this when my kids were younger, because it would have been $1,800 in free money over 10 years. The amount of money you have to put in to get the $180 back kind of moves up, but it's available to every Oregonian. And if you have 2 taxpayers in a family, then every taxpayer can take advantage of it. So it could be $360 in free money a year. And if there are aunts or uncles or grandparents also saving, they can also get the tax credit. So if you have a family network of people who are saving, the state, it's not based on the beneficiary. This could be savings for the one child. It's basically based on the taxpayer. So we're excited about that program. And there's some preliminary numbers now. There's a lag with the data from the Department of Revenue, but the average income of people who are investing in college savings plan accounts, traditionally it's been people with more than $100,000, is starting to creep down. So that tax credit is starting to actually show a tangible benefit in terms of people at the lower end of the income spectrum are starting to save for college. Let's see. So mention this kind of risk tolerance, that there's 18 different funds that people can put money into, from very conservative to socially, like a social choice fund, to pure market exposure, and then a bunch of mixed stuff. And so the most popular way that people do it is an age-based system. So it'll say, how many years is it before you're going to go to college? And then it will automatically adjust the risk for you. But folks have different options for saving, and that's just part of the sign-up process. It takes about 10-15 minutes to go through the menu and set up your account. You can do gifting at holidays. My mom used to put money into the kids' accounts, and so and that's not just limited to Oregon or Oregonians. She lives in California, and so we used to have pens here at Treasury that we'd hand out when we would go to tabling events, and they were shaped like Legos, and the not only would they write like pens, they would hurt your feet when you walked on them in the middle of the night, like Legos. And with kids, we have so many, like, people wonder, like, what do I get? What do I get for your kids for presents? And so the ability to do gifting for higher education has turned out to be something that a lot of people have been really happy about. Because then they can say, what does your kid want? It's like, I don't want more Legos, here are my feet. But you can put money in a college savings plan account. Through a partnership with Bottle Drop, which started about 4 years ago. When you save cans and bottles, you can put that money into a college savings plan account as well. And this also works for ABLE savings plan accounts, which are for people who are saving for disability connected costs. But you can set, if you set up a bottle drop account, and do they have bottle drops in Southern Oregon yet? Are they down there? And anybody can answer.
Yeah, we
Okay.
have them.
Great.
Yeah.
I know that they started in the Portland area, and I think they just finally got one out in Ontario. But then kids can save cans and bottles to their college. There's a family in, I think, Beaverton, where the kids go out and they have a whole bunch of neighbors that are collecting cans and bottles for them too, and then they put in their college accounts. So I mentioned the public policy reason for doing the college savings plan, because there's lots of different places to kind of put your money, but the research has shown that if a child has money saving for them in a college savings plan account, that they're 2.5 times more likely to attend and graduate from a higher education program. So that, and a lot of this goes to the psychology of somebody believes in me, so I believe in myself. A lot of times people aren't attending college based on the savings in that account, because it could even be a small balance in one of those accounts. But just having that balance, people are going to go through the process of going to school, sign up for Pell Grants, and are able to attend a kind of apprenticeship program or college. And so, this is a number that's very compelling to policymakers. And like, why does the state give this $180 tax credit to everybody? It costs about $10 million a year to do it. Well, we want people to go to college. We want doctors and lawyers and teachers and corrections officers that you need college degrees for. And then, as mentioned before, we're really highly attuned to the financial quality of life for every Oregonian, and more education translates to a better quality of life. I don't know if this will apply to many people who are engaged with TRIO, but we do offer matching contributions to help people start accounts when they're in their year of birth and when they're in kindergarten. So if they have siblings, or if you are engaged with families who have younger kids, the idea of getting people saving early and often, we offer that $25 incentive. Every year, the state gives 3 scholarships for diverse students in connection with the college savings plan. Clearly not everybody's going to get them if they're just 3, but that's something we like to talk about. And the deadline for that comes up in the summer. So I can share that information with Robin too, if you want to circulate that to the collective. So there's a QR code on this slide if anybody wants to spread that around, but this is where you can get into the system to open those accounts. We at Treasury don't manage the interface. It's through Bank of New York. But the Oregon College Savings Plan has its own website, and you need $25 to set up. You also need to connect it to some sort of a bank account, and then you're off and running. And again, it takes about 10-15 minutes. Mentioned the ABLE Savings Plan account. If you are dealing with or have the opportunity to intersect with families who have children with disabilities, ABLE Savings Plan accounts are a godsend for people who are on public benefits, because you can save money for the first time without it interfering with your ability to get public benefits. There's this weird term of art called spend down for people who are on disability. And they're not allowed to have any assets, or else they get thrown off. And so the feds didn't increase the asset limit, but they did create a program called ABLE, and we administered that as well. And this is John's name and number if anyone wants to get a hold of him, or Robin, I'll share mine with you too if anybody has any questions or if there's anything we can help with. Also, we have in our storeroom here in Salem, we have kind of piles of brochures and that sort of thing. So we'd love to share those with you, or we could send digital versions as well if you'd like to share those with your populations. And I think that that's sort of it. I'm ready for people to ask me questions that I cannot answer.
Well, I know one of the things we were brainstorming about is how to get this in front of families. And so that probably goes to more of our pre-college programs for any orientation or onboarding or anything you do with families for them to know the options. I don't know if any of our pre-college people could speak to that. And then also just to the idea for our college students that they could do this for themselves. They won't have as much of an impact because they're already in college, but
Yeah, you don't have as much of a runway, right?
Yeah.
With kind of the investment gains, but if the state's going to give you $180 to save in one of these accounts, you should take it, right? And or even if you're out of college and you have debt, to open an account for yourself. You don't have to open it for a dependent. You can, I know people have accounts for cousins. Oh, Luana can't hear you.
I don't know if Luana was saying something, but if any of our pre-college folks could speak to how we would get this in front of parents,
Okay.
that would be great.
And I'm going to look at the chat here to see if I have any questions in here.
Deanne is asking a question about how long does the money
how-
have to stay in before you withdraw it?
There's no, it can be in for a couple weeks. It's just has to touch the account.
And then it looks like Linda said, you have to be an Oregon resident. So for people that work in Oregon but live across the border.
Right.
in Washington.
To get the tax credit, you have to pay Oregon income taxes. But to save in an Oregon college savings account, you can be anywhere. As a matter of fact, about a third of the investors in the Oregon College Savings Plan are actually coming from different states because they tend to be kind of higher net worth folks, but they like the investment options in Oregon because we have lower fees and more options in other states. And so and so that's also a possibility is you could also invest in a college savings plan account that's run by another state too. But as an Oregonian, you can only get the tax credit if you invest in the Oregon College Savings Plan.
I have a question.
Hi, Claudia.
Hi. So if like let's say students or parents signed up for an account, how would that affect them for their FAFSA? Is it count, like from what I understand, it does count as an investment, correct?
It shows up as it is an asset of the parent. It's not of the student.
Thank you.
Yeah, and the balances don't tend to be very high. And so that's something to keep in mind too, because most people don't have tens of thousands of dollars to put in. And also, Claudia, I believe on the new FAFSAs, and this is a question that I don't know, and I apologize for this, and I'll get the answer back to Robin. The 529 savings may not show up on the new FAFSA. I know it did on the old one. I'm gonna write that down.
James, I have a question. Because there was a question in the chat about like, do they have to have a social security number? You said they have to have like an ITIN or a social security number. What about undocumented families? Because we have a family liaison that works with families that some of them are undocumented. Would that be a problem?
So as long as there's an ITIN, right? This is federal banking law, so they need to have a social security, but ITIN is for, I guess that makes you sort of documented if you have an ITIN. But yeah, you need to have one or the other.
Okay, thank you.
In the chat, I see another question about, is it too late for high school students to open an account? For example, our current seniors.
Now you can open an account anytime. And so you just need $25 and take advantage of the tax credit. It's there. What if you can only do $180? I mean, that's still, that'll go a long ways toward paying your tuition for a term at a community college. It'll buy a couple books, so.
Can you speak a little bit more about what all it can be used for again? So
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's
Linda's saying she's reading the fine print for her own kids, and students can use it for certain education items.
yeah, but that, it can be tuition, room, board, technology, books, transportation, any of those costs that go along with, school supplies. So I think we'd all have to sort of work really hard to find something that we can't fit into that definition. It used to be more limited. It didn't. I think it was about 8 years ago they added computers to the list. Well, yeah, and again now, if you can't use it, you can use it for retirement too. So it's pretty expensive.
Clarify that piece, the point about retirement, is that the parent that opens the account
So
can use it for
is.
retirement?
No,
Okay.
it needs to be in the name of the beneficiary. And because the idea was not to create a way for high wealth people to create another retirement savings vehicle, um, that activates after 15 years. So it's not like right away. So when you put money in the account, you have to have the account for 15 years, and then you can save up to, I think, 36,000 for retirement or something like that at that point. So it's, the idea is not to create a new kind of tax shelter for high wealth people, but just for those people who save some money. And what if their kids don't go to school? You can move the money to a sibling. You can move it to a different relative. You can get the money back out. All the money you put in, there's no penalty. The only penalty I think is 10% of the gain. So if you gained $1,000, well then your penalty would be like 100 of it if you got all the money back out, but all the other gain is tax free. It's great. So so it's still, I think that the goal is not to have any sort of disincentive for people to save for higher education. I mean, everybody knows that college costs are out of control. I would love to see us kind of look seriously at bringing the cost down, but not having that as an option, saving as much as you can is the way to go. Kind of peruse the questions here. Looks like we've reached the recording limit for our plan.
Oh, that's just for the AI. Can it also be used towards grad school?
Yeah.
Okay.
And apprenticeship programs, as long as they're accredited. And so I kind of learned this the hard way. Kind of speaking from kind of school of experience, my eldest daughter decided she wanted to go to a special effects makeup school in Hollywood, and it was non-accredited, so not able to use the college savings money for that, which was kind of helped her brother. But it does have to be an accredited school, and not just in Oregon. It can be kind of out of state too.
I'm seeing from Crystal saying that these presentation slides could be really helpful to inform students and their families. Are there some slides that we could share out for
Yeah,
TRIO?
I'm happy to send this deck to you. I'll also send the PDFs of the brochures. We have one that we made up last year for the tax credit, and it's going to ratchet. It's going to ratchet up based on inflation.
Tomorrow's Wednesday. Early release.
Hi, Claudia.
Yeah, exactly. We're also asking, is there information in Spanish? I'm guessing there is.
Yes, we have English, Spanish. I think that we're relying on the magic of Google Translate and all that for Vietnamese and some of the other languages, but we have English and Spanish for everything.
And so if programs wanted some physical flyers or brochures.
Yeah, just reach back to me. We can send some to you, or and on the road in the valley quite a bit. So if you're in the valley, I can bring them to you. So my friends from Monmouth that I just met today, we can come out there. I get to Coos Bay less often, but we can put something in the mail.
This is great. And then for the Spanish, is there somebody bilingual if they were calling customer service or something?
Yeah, we
Okay.
do have a call center with bilingual help.
Okay, fabulous.
And yeah, and hopefully, you know, in no time, all of you will be really comfortable talking about these, so you can answer all these questions for us. But yeah, we're happy to get on the horn and talk to people as well.
Nice. Well, I'm really hopeful that we can get this into our TRIO families as an option for savings, and especially just with that sales pitch of put 180 in, get 180 out.
It's a good pitch, right? One of the things that surprised me when I got into this role is how hard it is to give away money. It's like, please, just do it. And so whatever you can do, just let people know. I mean, it's part of your financial education stuff. You know, if you don't have a college savings plan account, open one, because there's, you know, the state will give you money for it because we want people to go in higher education.
And it just has to be accredited. It doesn't have to be in Oregon or anything like that.
Correct.
Okay. Well, thank you. This is fabulous.
All right. Well,
I know that part of what you were wanting, though, was also to hear from TRIO colleagues about other ideas that they might have for how to get this in front of the TRIO families or just lower income families in general. And I don't know.
Yeah, and if you want to follow up with me about that kind of stuff, that'd be great too. We're, you know, we've got 4 million people in Oregon now, and so we're trying to, you know, I think that the last math was about, I think in Multnomah, Hood River County, and Washington County, like 10%-ish of the families with kids under 20 have them, and that's the high water mark. So across most of the state, we're talking about like single digit percentages of families with college savings plan accounts. And so there's a lot of people who could benefit from these accounts who don't have them. And so it's a constant uphill battle. And that's where we need all the help we can get. So thank you for being willing to let us talk about this today.
And I just put James' email in the chat. People were asking for that to request brochures. James, are you the one that they should send that to, or to John?
If you want to send it to both of us, that'd be great.
Okay.
You know, we kind of jointly do the outreach work here, and also, you know, I'm always excited to hear about what people are doing to help people with their kind of financial empowerment, financial literacy, and that sort of thing as well, which is where I connected with TRIO in the first place, was the financial education training they were doing as part of the sessions down in Southern Oregon. And I don't know how many people have been with TRIO for a long time, but John, who was going to be here, spoke at a TRIO convention a couple years ago that you had was it March? And so would love to kind of find our way onto that agenda again at some point when it works.
Yeah, that's our annual conference. And this year it is in Sun River at the very beginning of April.
Okay. Well, I don't know if my boss will send me to Sun River, but I will ask. I will beg. I'll beg.
And next year we'll be back over at the coast.
Okay. Very good. So, all right, Robin,
Well,
thank you for
so
having
much.
me
I'm
in.
gonna stop our recording now.
And then I will send to you this slide deck, and then also a couple different emails with some of the brochures.
Wonderful.
Robin
Very
and
good.
James, there's still a question in the chat.
Oh,
I don't
all right.
know.
Hold on. I was going to look here. If a parent has a 529, can they still add to it? Yes, absolutely. I mean, it's a investment account. You can, as long as you use the proceeds for qualified education expense. You can put money in, and it doesn't have to be for the child. If once they're done with school, you can keep putting money into it, and then it can go to a grandchild. It can go to yourself. We've seen several people with accounts as they hit retirement age say, well, I'm going to go to community college and take some classes. You can do that too.
So you don't have to be on any specific degree plan or anything like that. It's just
Nope.
taking a class.
Yep.
Okay.
At an accredited school. Yeah, it can't be my brother Tom is teaching me how to work on my car and I'm going to pay
Yeah.
him. Right?
Unless he works for the automotive program at the community college. Yeah.
Well, it still has to be through the program, but yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, thank you, everybody. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you.
James. This has been
Thank you
great.
everybody for being